everybody, it's me, Diana, and I might have some guest stars today because Lincoln is hanging out. My little lighting crew. Thank you. Okay, leave it alone. Okay, so I had, oh, Sissy, come on, dude. Come on. Stop touching my stuff. Don't hit me, please. No hitting. No hitting yourself either. Be kind. Be kind. You crazy. Do you want to use my pen? Do you want to play with your toys? Look at this one's exciting. Even Goliath thinks it's very cool. Oh, you gonna put it on the kitchen? Okay. Let's go all the way here. Sit him up. So I wanted to talk to you today about what it's like to deal with teenagers who are not very nice to you. And even though my mom and dad will tell you I wasn't very nice to them, I was actually pretty rough kid, I think, especially in my later teens. You still gotta love them, you still gotta live with them, and you gotta put up with them even when they destroy your stuff, even when they tell you you're dumb, they hate you, even when they ignore you. Like my son ignores me. I send him texts all the time. Hey, do you want to go to a movie? Hey, are you going to be home for dinner? He just ignores me. He doesn't want to come home for dinner. He doesn't want to go to the movies with me. He works and he's in a film editing program at his school. He's got a bunch of friends. He's involved with the church. He's just got a lot going on. He lives part-time at his dad's. So he's just busy. So he doesn't really care to have much to do with me, and it sucks because I love him and I miss him, and he's actually one of my coolest kids. So, I mean, I have all 5 of my kids are very cool, but I just like spending time with him and I really miss him. So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with Erilyn's never been able to say I love you to me, my stepdaughter. Every time we have Easter or Christmas or whatever, and you know, let's face it, I'm the Easter bunny, right? She always is like, is this it? Is this all we get? She's has a very ungrateful attitude. She's in a very ungrateful place. Scarlett I must ask Scarlett 5 times about cleaning her stuff up. She completely ignores me. And then when I finally lose it on her, she's like, she's very passive aggressive. She's like, look at you, Mom, you're screaming me, you're scaring me. I'm like, yeah, I hope so. I mean, what is it gonna take to get you to clean up your crap, you know? And honestly, I always tell them with 7 people living in one house, I mean, you gotta take care of your own stuff. I'm not asking you to take care of everyone else's, but you can't leave your messes everywhere. And Scarlett is like, we call it the Scarlett sprawl. Like, she's very creative, so she's got this project on the counter, and then her backpack is all over the dining room, and then she's got her 3 different outfits that she's done for the day that are on the stairs or in the living room, and several loads of laundry going. It's just a mess all the time with Scarlett. So, and then Mia. Oh, my Mia girl. Mia doesn't like to be touched or be hugged. And I don't know if that's something that has to do with before she became ours or what the story is, but when she hugs you, it's only because you force her, and we just are teaching her now. We're actually like putting her through hug school, teaching her how to hug. Like, she will hug people like this. Like, she's body slamming you with your head, and then like this. So we're teaching her like how to hug and how to be affectionate, but she hates it. Like, she absolutely hates it. She hates being kissed, cuddled, tickled, none of it. So how do you deal with your kids when they're not very nice? Like, you expect it from a 2-year-old. She pulls my hair and hits me and all that, and we do timeouts, but that's expected from a 2-year-old. But what do you do about your teens that just, you still have to love them, but they're kind of mean to you? Okay, so one thing that really helps me is to remember that it's about them and not about me. So it's who they are. Their brains are undeveloped, they're not mature, all they think about is themselves. They have a lot of hormones going through their bodies, and it's just kind of who they are. And if I think about them kind of in the same way as I think about my 2-year-old, like, she's not really mature enough not to hit me yet. And I explain that to the kids too, like, if you get in her face, she's gonna slap you because she's 2 and she hasn't learned that lesson yet. So, oh, you having a hard time? Ooh, you want it to stand up like this? Is that better? There, I like how this goes both ways. That's pretty cool. What do you think, Goliath? Oh, so lazy. You wanna see our lazy man? How lazy is he? He's just a good old boy, huh? Yeah. You can kind of put into perspective, like, they just, and think of them really almost like toddlers, like, they're just so immature, and it's just going to vary from minute to minute. And even though you have those sparkly moments with your kids where they're like, they do something really great, or they seem like they're maturing, they're not mature. Especially like that young, like that 12, 13, 14-year-old girl, which is what I have right now. Like, it just is very moment to moment with them emotionally. So keeping in mind, it's them. It's not your fault. It's their fault. This one's a great one. And this one I learned from my mom and dad. My mom and dad would always tell us that they loved each other more than my sister and I. And at the time I'm like, really? Like, I'm not the best thing you have going? But the truth is I love my husband way more than my kids. And that's really how it should be. If you disagree with me, that's fine. But I'm just going to tell you this. Your kids are going to grow up and move on. And as needy as they are, and loving and sweet and cuddly as they are right now, to sleep within your bed, the best thing you do is sleep with your husband in your bed and have your husband be your biggest priority, or your wife. As the kids grow up and they find their own friends, and really that's how it should be. They should move on. They should make their own relationships. So although you put all your eggs, you know, this, you want a show? No, we're not going to have a show right now. You know, you haven't had breakfast yet. I keep asking you about breakfast. You don't want some. Do you want a snack? Do you want a bar? You didn't want a banana earlier. Okay, I'll get you a bar. What happened? You need help? Just say, Mama, I need help. Mommy. Oh, shit. Sorry, Goliath. I gotta stop cussing in front of you. Ah, where are you going? Here, lay down. Coffee's not gonna hurt you, sir. Lay down. Sit. No, here, go this way. Go that way. Go on, if you're going, don't knock over my stuff. There. Good grief. Good grief, that's a big dog. Okay, here's your bar. Oh, it's so crumbly. Great. Maybe Goliath can come back and help us clean it up. As all-encompassing as child raising is, and looking into those big blue eyes and just loving this kid more than anything in the world, the truth is that she's going to grow up, and that's the natural order of things. She should grow up. She should make her own friends. She should fall in love with someone. She should move on. She should move out of the house. And when we put all of our eggs in the kid basket, and we don't leave any eggs in the husband basket or the wife basket or the relationship basket, that's a big recipe for disaster. And the truth is you're really protecting your kids for the future by keeping your marriage strong and throwing a lot of your time and efforts into your spouse. It's a lot easier for me to deal with the 12, 13, and 14-year-old girls who think I'm stupid, who think I'm lame, who, you know, go out in the other living room after school and they whisper to each other and spill the tea. And then I was like, what's the tea? What tea did you spill? And they're like, oh, the tea is like information. You don't know that because you're not cool. Okay, whatever, I'm not cool. The truth is, I'm pretty cool. I got a husband that I love. I got a family that I'm raising. I've got good friends. And my friends and my husband are a big priority in my life, not just the kids. So as these kids are going through growing up, I don't really get my feelings hurt because sometimes they can be mean to me because who cares? They're kids, you know? And I think leaving some space for them to have a strong sister bond, a strong brother bond, because these are the relationships they're going to have for the rest of their lives. When I get sick and old and they're pushing me around in a wheelchair and deciding whether or not to put me in a home, they're going to be making those decisions together. So leaving space for them to be close friends is important. Might be Dolly's stroller here. Put your feet up. Oh, that's good snacking. Is it good? Can I have kisses? Oh, that's a crumbly kisses. I love you so much. I love you so much. I think also, like, it puts a lot of pressure on a kid when it's like, well, I'm the only thing my mom's got going on, you know, like, get your own life. Don't put all that pressure on your kid that they don't feel like they can go off and go to college or go pursue a great career or, you know, really have their own life. It's not your children's job to be the only thing or the best thing that you or that they have going in their lives. It's a lot of, I think that's a lot of pressure for a young adult. Well, I wrote down soak up the good stuff. So sometimes it's few and far between, but sometimes the kids do some pretty nice stuff. Cooper wrote me a really sweet letter. It got me like a flower and my favorite candy, which is Whoppers. But the letter was just like so from the heart and sweet. And you know, I don't get that every day. He doesn't even want to give me a hug every day, but I cherished it, man. It's still like right up in my closet where I could see it every day. And it's a big deal to me. So soak up the good stuff. Erin did the sweetest little fruit spread and bagel last Mother's Day. You're gonna get hurt. Are you gonna get hurt? Are you sure? Do bullshit. Good. So I just sort of like focus on that and sort of relish that and appreciate that and try not to focus as much on the times when they're turtles. Sometimes refer to teens as rainbows, like, oh, my rainbow is here. You never know when it's coming. You never know how long it's going to stay, but when it comes, it's like this beautiful thing, and you got to drop everything and just like behold it. And that's sort of like how when your teenager comes home and they start talking to you, and like, it doesn't matter if you set the time aside and you're in the right frame of mind and you've had your coffee and you're ready to talk. If they're not ready to talk, you might as well be talking to a clam at the bottom of the sea, because they will just sit there and, you know, quietly ignore you or act like you're pressing into their life or whatever. But when they're ready to talk and tell you what's going on in their life and tell you some situation that came up at school or what's going on with their friends, you just have to stop and kind of listen and let them go, because they're like a rainbow. And my last and best is that you're not alone. All parents go through this. It's a very rare teenager that's always nice to their parents, that don't have those moments when they're snarky or eye rollers, or like they don't do what they're asked, or they ignore your opinion. It's totally normal. You did it when you were a young adult as well. It's part of that process. I think my mom used to refer to it as a rubber band. Like, you're not the first person to fear that you've raised the most ungrateful children ever. You're not the first person to have your kids do horrible things to you that you cannot imagine that you raised these children to behave. I've had kids take $20 from me out of my wallet. I've had kids intentionally ruin my personal belongings. I've had kids run in and pretend that they have to go to the bathroom so they can avoid unloading the Costco. Like, just leaving hard stuff for me to do. Just shitty. They're just shitty sometimes. And you're not the first person to have kids like that. You're not alone. Your kids aren't the shittiest. So in summary, 12 to 24 can be not cute, very expensive, mean years. So just gear up for it. Pour yourself into your marriage. Love on your husband or your wife. Oh, let's go get on the trampoline.
No.
No? Why? No? Why? What's he barking at? Why's he barking? He's a grumpy boy. And at the end of the day, you're doing a great job, and you're going to turn out some great humans into this world, which is the goal, is to turn out good, kind human beings. So teach them through the negativity and relish in the stuff they do that's positive, and love your kids, but mostly love yourself. It's pretty important. Okay, thanks for watching this video. We appreciate it. Hope you have a great day.